The scariest thing happened to me one morning. I woke up and I couldn't move. And I was perfectly conscious. And I heard my closet door open slowly and creaked. And I heard footsteps. And with every step, the floor creaked. And then they stopped, and a dark, shadowed-faced figure standing over me had started choking me. And I tried to scream, but I couldn't. And finally, I could move again. I sat up and the guy was gone. But the main scary part is, it felt so real, and my throat still hurts. I searched on the internet, and it said something about sleep paralysis, but it scared the shit out of me. But the worst part was, the next night, I saw him again. I heard my closet door open again, and the footsteps, but the footsteps stopped getting closer. They stopped right next to my bed. Then I heard a whisper right in my ear, and it said, "I'll have you, just not tonight." And that was when I woke up. Right when I woke up, the scary thing is, I lock my closet every night, and the door was wide open. I got on my knees and prayed. Number 2. My mom's friend works a night shift at this restaurant, and he works alone most of the time. And that's cause all you do there is lock up and stay the night, and make sure no one breaks in. The people working night shift have the option of staying up all night in the dark, or go sleep downstairs where there's a room that can be locked from the inside. The restaurant has the bathrooms right next to the front doors, and in the back of the kitchen next to the back doors are the stairs going down. My mom's friend finishes locking the front door and starts to walk to the kitchen, but as he turns off the lights, he hears these footsteps that are right behind him. He first thinks it's his imagination and just keeps going, but then he realizes he forgot to check the bathroom to make sure no one was inside. He felt fear rush through him as he knew it wasn't his imagination and someone had been hiding in the bathroom, but he did his best to calmly walk to the back. Once he has it in sight, he sprints for the back door, but it was locked, and he hears the footsteps behind him turn into a full-on sprint, getting closer behind him, and he goes downstairs next to him, trying not to trip, but going as fast as he can, and after reaching the bottom, he runs into the room with lockable door. And as he runs, he hears the footsteps reaching the bottom step, and he slams the door shut, and right as he locks it, he hears someone bang on the door. He left the light on outside the room, and he could see the shadow of someone standing there, and he was gonna get his phone, but then he realizes he left it in the front desk. He hears the door being banged on for a few minutes before it stops, and the person just stands there. And as all this went down, my mom's friend, scared out of his mind, is in the corner next to the door so no one will see him in case they decide to look under the door. He was sure the guy on the other side was gonna kick it down, but after an hour of complete silence, he heard the guy walking back up the stairs and somehow exit through the back door that was locked. The restaurant is owned by a different person now, but this story comes back to me every time I pass it on the way home. Number 3. When I used to live in the old subdivision in central Indiana, my friends and I used to walk to the woods a little ways from the subdivision and hang out there a lot. We would build forts out of wood and old metal scraps we would find there. We would play capture the flag and collect fossils and bones and stuff. We would walk by the woods on the way back from another friend's house at night a lot, and sometimes just walk around by the edge of the woods in the cornfield when it wasn't full of corn and talk about junk. A few times we would be walking, and all of a sudden we would hear our own voices when we weren't talking. We would just stand there and listen, but what they were saying didn't make sense. It would just be like random words, and laughing like when Fossil ate the pillow door, ha 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 ha. It sounded exactly like us. It was like something that didn't know English, trying to imitate us. It was super creepy. Every time we would be walking, at the corner of our eyes, we would see people-shaped shadows walking around in there, but some were really tall. We would watch them for a long time in our peripheral vision, but the second we would try to look at them straight on, they would disappear. I remember once it was me and 3 other people. We were all the way across the field, quite a ways from the woods, but we could still see the woods, and we saw a huge shadow thing float along the edge of the woods and disappear, but it was as tall as the trees. We all were like, "Did you see that?" And everyone saw it. So yeah, creepy encounters of really random weirdness. I'm 15 and a bit buff, not a lot, but you can see I'm strong. I live in Israel, just so you know. I live in kibbutz. It's like a village, but with extra stuff. Anyway, when you're in 8th grade, you get a job in the kibbutz and you get paid. So I went to work there. One day, me and Amit were at the shift alone. The time was 10 a.m. We were cleaning and the horses were outside the cells so you can pet them. Then a weird looking guy, maybe 30, came. He started petting the horse, but he did it wrong, so they ran away. My friend wanted to be nice, so she went to help him. "You're petting them wrong," she says. "That's why they don't like it." I was listening and I heard him say, "I know if I'll pet you, you will like it very much," and then grabbed her arm. She screamed my name and I ran to them. I was 1.70 and he was like 1.66. I punched his face so hard he fell and he lost grip on Amit's hand. She ran behind me and I told her to call the police. I have a long fist fight history, so when he got up and tried to punch me, I dodged the punch and punched his face again. Realizing he's gonna lose, he ran away. I chased him, but he got away. I came back to the stable. A police car was there and I saw Amit and a cop talking. She saw me and because we were good friends, she ran to me and hugged me and said thank you. Today I get chills when I remember it. And now, if I wasn't there, Amit, a friend of mine, would have gotten raped. Number 5. When I was like 7, me, my little brother and sister, my mom's ex-boyfriend's daughter, and my 2 cousins were visiting. We were all in one room playing around. We lived in a trailer with my mom's ex-boyfriend. Anyways, one of my cousins was asleep and we were trying to wake him up. We then saw a thing the shape and size of a basketball go from one end of the blanket to the edge of the bed and seemed to sink into the mattress and disappear. It freaked us out and we just hid underneath the blankets and went to sleep. A few years later, I overheard my uncle talking about what happened in the trailer to my mom, and apparently a few people were killed in the room we were in. Do you have a story to tell? Feel free to share in the comment section below and it might be featured on my next video. So until then, stay safe out there.